Good morning and welcome to Church at Home for this Friday, the 1st of October. I hope that you had a peaceful and powerful day yesterday. This morning, I'd like to have not a rant, but a little lament. So much happened yesterday. So much is going on that it seems kind of overwhelming that we are called to it seems so ridiculous to even say this, but it feels like we are, as Canadians, being called to change how we've thought and who we are. And it seems like a big ask. The fact is, it's not. Our Indigenous siblings have been forced to change for generations and generations and generations, and all they are asking now is that we would change up enough that we would listen to make better decisions, to work with them instead of against them. And today, I am very frustrated. I was watching the news last night, and they talked about the fact that Justin Trudeau was in Tofino on family holiday when his official appointment book said that he had private meetings all day. And I guess technically, that was true. And he tweeted out that he'd had some conversations with people, with survivors of residential schools. And I'll believe him, okay? But I'm sorry, it's not enough. It's not enough. Regardless of how I felt about Justin Trudeau, neither really here nor there, but yesterday I was disappointed. I know he's been through a rough time. I don't know, but I believe that I can empathize that the election campaign and having rocks thrown at him and having his effigy being hung, that takes its toll on people. And it's not appropriate, it's not right. But when you're the leader, when you are a public figure, there are times when you have to step up, regardless of how you're feeling. I know that as a priest, there are times when I've had to suck it up, to be in grief and yet be present with other people in their grief. When I have been feeling ill and been called upon to still do my duty and just to be present. And I know that's a very small comparison as to being the leader of the country. But at the same time, he needed to be with the peoples. He needed, as a leader, all of his cabinet members, all of his MPs needed to be with their people, listening, not appealing Supreme Court judgments, not fighting against lawsuits, not hiding out in their cottages or their homes or even their offices, not even taking time with their families. They needed to be with the Indigenous peoples so that we could see as a country that we are being led in the right direction. Because we need that leadership right now. Yesterday, I became very aware of small town racism. And the fact is that no one but Rob and I and one other person seemed to even recognize it. We were out at a local business, and we were having a conversation, and we overheard someone who has sort of a following, a number of people that listen to them. And this person said, this referred to the day, the statutory day, as this stupid Indigenous Day, and went on to say other things that were such that Rob knew he needed to take me out of that space. And we've made a decision that if we ever go back to that business and that person is there, we will leave. We're fairly certain we know when the save times will be. And it's not the business we despise, it is the person. And it's not despising, it is disappointment. It is frustration because there were 4 or 5 other people who sat with that person and simply lapped it up, nodding their heads in agreement. I know that there are a lot of people where I live who have never had experience of Indigenous peoples, who have listened to the wrong stories and have read the wrong books and watched the wrong horrible movies and advertising and news, and have made their decision about how they feel without ever having researched or experienced or listened. And I love small town living, but I don't love that. In a small town, that is exactly where people should know how important it is to listen to story. It's exactly the place where you expect that people would reach out to one another and help, not hinder. They would spread love and not hate. And yet I became very aware of how much hate and ignorance there is in my small town. And that breaks my heart. This morning, as I was meditating, and in my mind's eye, I smudged, and this time it wasn't just Jesus who joined me on my bench, but the Creator sat on a stump, and the Holy Spirit worked in flowers in the garden in front of me, and we just sat together. And I realized, and it's silly, but that old song by Eddie Rabbit, I think it is, I Love a Rainy Night, popped into my head as I was sitting on that bench and started humming it. And I realized that all of the tears that are falling, all of the tears that I have shed yesterday and through this time and through the 7 Creed teachings, all of the people who are in pain and hurting, all of the tears that have been shed, they are watering new growth. We have come through a drought. We are in a drought. We need water. We've seen the results of no water here in this small town and across the country. We have seen the devastation of forest fires because water was not quick in coming to stop them. Maybe that is what our tears are. Maybe our tears, flowing fast and furiously, will put out the fires of hatred in people's hearts. Maybe our tears that fall so copiously will water the ground and allow the Creator to bring back life and beauty and gentleness and vulnerability and fragility, like that first little hint of green that pops through the ground in the spring. I lament for my country that our leader chose, for whatever reason, to stay with his family yesterday, the first of the Truth and Reconciliation Days. I think he made a mistake. I lament for those people who have such hatred and racism and bigotry in their hearts that they cannot see what they are doing. I cry for them. And I cry with tears of hope that one day our nation will be able to stand as a one people's, all of the Creator's children, holding hands, sharing love and life and energy in a way that honors the creation, in a way that honors the stories, in a way that honors the individuals who make up these lands we live on. I pray that Turtle Island will become a place that is a haven of hope and peace and security for all. For those who were here pre-contact, for those who did such damage with contact, and for those who continue to come to this land to discover what our Indigenous peoples have always known. The Creator made Turtle Island beautiful. It is our responsibility to bring that beauty back. And maybe it begins with laments and tears. Good day. See you tomorrow or Sunday for mini church at home for the parish, and on Monday for church at home with Rachael. God bless you all.